Party all night is the best of the best, best friend weekend. We can party all night is the best of the best, best friend weekend. We can party all night. Shout out the whole podcast crew. Everybody already know what it do. When you really gotta kill it, ain't nobody gonna feel it. When you really gotta tell them it's my crew. It's best friend weekend. We can party all night. We got Rog Smuve and Los, Rumble, Aldo NICE is the uncle.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to address you roach-ass, scandalous-ass chicks or you flogging, false prophet-ass dudes, but I ain't even gonna go that route with it. That's on y'all body and between y'all and y'all God. I want to put out some positive energy, and with that just brings me to my next point. I know many of us had New Year's resolutions or goals or aspirations, or however you want to just call that whole little kick, at the top of the year. But I just want to say, it's not too late to get back on track if you're slipping with that goal or resolution. And if you've been walking on water with it, keep it going. This is going to be a greater year as we personally allow it to be. And if people around you ain't adding to that goal, they subtract them and just remove that shit.
I say, whoa, welcome to the Best Friend Weekend Podcast. It's your man, Aldo NICE.
It's your boy, Rog Smuve.
Wow, it's your boy, Los, a.k.a. C.A.P.
Hey, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I have recorded a podcast every day for the last month. I am burnt out, man.
On pods, huh?
I've been running my mouth, but look, it's time for the flagship, so we're going to get the people what they want. What y'all think about what Rumble just said about keeping your mind on those resolutions, man? And both of y'all said y'all didn't have any resolutions. So what are your thoughts on just kind of the 2020 surge thus far?
I mean, I'm never going to have a resolution. Like, that's the thing. It's not about I don't have one now. I'm never going to have a New Year's resolution because I feel like if I could start a resolution on January 1st, I could start it on November 11th, You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just never, like, I just don't believe in, like, okay, all right, like, let me pig out, let me eat all this food, all these potato chips, all this junk food, and then, you know what, on the first, I'm going to stop. So let me do all these drugs in my arm, and on the first, I'm going to stop.
January 1st is 1/1. I thought it was so fire that you just said November 11th, which is 11/11. I just thought that I don't know if you did that on purpose. I just thought that was live. Just FYI.
Please say you did it on purpose. Make a wish. But
make a wish, right?
I feel like, I kind of agree with Roger with that one. I mean, for me, I have, goals that I want to hit each year. And my years kind of start in August, probably because that's when I really go back to work and start doing things like that. And I assess things I did last year and try to make it a point to, move above those things and, gradually, incline my life, I guess. So yeah, I don't wait till the first to be like, oh, I'm gonna start doing this and do that, do this and all that. I don't wait like that. So my shit don't work that way.
Well, yeah, I guess I don't ever put things down like this is but a new year is always a good time for me to kind of reset and just think about these things and the goals of what do we have. And I think the biggest resolution that I've, it's always some work related things, it's always some personal related things, and it's always some podcast related things. And I want to be better organized with that. And I mean, I think we're doing a pretty good job of kind of doing some of the things that we put in motion to do with the podcast. It's just a matter of, finding the time when you don't always have the time. So, I mean, let that be I guess a positive way of everybody out there kind of looking at it. Whatever your goals are, man, look, you always think that you don't have the time, but you got to make the time sometimes. Like, there's certain things you can control. You can control your weight. You can control your diet. These are things you can control, right? You could control the amount that you get a workout in, man. You can make these things happen. And you could get, like, when you leave your job, you can start working on your dream, man. And if you do that, I'm sure everything will be popping off just the way you like it, man. Look, I don't want to talk about that no more because I'm in a mood where I just want to tell y'all what burned my Boudin this week. Man, the first thing that burned my Boudin this week, shout out, this podcast is brought to you by Graham Star 30 for mentioning this on the phone the other day. First thing that burns my Boudin is when your barber's hand smells like anything but hand.
Oh, man. Hey.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all had the experience of your barber hand smelling like that Doja.
Yeah.
But I don't like it because like everybody, like I know people personally, like on a personal level that I know could handle that dope. And I don't necessarily have that great of a relationship with my barber to know if he can. So I question his abilities when he's not sober.
So it ain't about the smell, it's about what you think he's cutting like cause he high.
Right. Well, yeah, because I guess if I smell that on his hands, I'm not necessarily concerned about like his hygiene. Like that's not the first thing that comes to my mind is hygiene. So yeah, no, I'm it's ability. Like I'm like, damn, like he gonna mess my edge up this rib. You know, like that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, now when I smell that dope, I've been rocking my barber for a while. So I'm talking about years. So I don't really tripping on that when I smell that dope. I know he gonna be real meticulous about the haircut then, even more than he already is. So I don't really be tripping on that. I just don't want to smell dope on your hand, especially when you got it by my nose. It's just like I'd rather not smell dope from another man's hand.
The worst thing about smelling that on his hands is that if you smell it on his hands, when he in your face doing that line, it don't smell good.
He be whiffing that's whiffing it in your nose.
I don't like that.
I mean,
I know it's gonna smell bad.
I done had barber hand smell like cigarette before.
Yeah.
That as well. And sometimes a little strong nice. But I feel like, and by strong nice I mean funk. But what I really feel like a barber's hand should smell like, if it don't smell like hand, it should smell like that green bottle with the little man on it with the cane.
It should smell like a little hot sauce.
I don't know.
Smell like a little hot sauce.
I don't know what that is, but that's what it need to smell like.
That's what talc.
I don't know, Cutting. Something.
You talking about the powder?
Something.
No, not the powder. The little hot sauce juice he put on you when you get through.
That too. Whatever.
It should always smell like the juice.
It need to
hot
smell
sauce.
like barbershop, like black man barbershop.
Like hot sauce. Yeah, the little hot sauce juice. The little hot sauce.
Well, I will say what's dope about my barber is that he wears gloves, so it smell like latex.
Ooh.
Okay.
I guess what the funny thing is that might be a bad thing as well. You know, man might be masking that latex on his hand with latex gloves. So maybe I need my barber to get some scented gloves next time.
So when he slapped that that alcohol on the back of your neck, Cutting, this big latex.
So here's the thing. Every barber got a different finishing move, right?
Yeah.
My barber don't slap like I done had barbers hit me with the spray, like spray directly on my head. I done had barbers, that hit you with bare hands,
I ain't had a bare hand on my head in a long time. Like
that's old school though. That's old school. All them niggas dead. All the bare hand. The bare hand that is dead because they used to use the blade that they had the little leather strap on the side. All them niggas dead. Them niggas ain't alive no more. Them boys dead, man. Or they hands shake too much to be cutting.
I haven't had that in a while either. But my barber specifically does. Like my barber's efficient. So the little neck wrap. Take the neck wrap off, bundle it up. Spray it a couple of times, and he used that.
I think that's 100% of what they teach now, because that's what my barber do too.
Oh no, my barber hit you with the spray. He spin you around, hit you with the spray, and he mix it. Got different scents, so it be spicy, it be hot, but you be smelling good.
There he goes and hit you with that sheen, huh?
I don't know what it is, but it be.
I don't like that sheen.
The sheen.
Nah, it ain't sheen. It's
every time they spray the sheen on me, what I think is my pores are getting all clogged up. And I always got to blow. I don't know if y'all do that, but that's what I do. When they blow that sheen, when they hit me with the sheen, I blow all of the sheen away.
I don't know how you do that on your face, but okay.
I get his point. I can see his vision when he says.
Oh, the little cloud that be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now he hit me with the spray bottle.
Cloud, man.
Yeah, he hit me with the spray bottle. It don't be the sheen with the spray bottle. He be mixing that shit. It's handmade.
There's sheen in that cloud.
No, it's not a cloud. It's the hot sauce juice.
Everybody a little different, man. Let me tell you another thing that burned my Boudin this week. When the DoorDash or Uber Eats folks come to your door, they come to your house, and they don't get out the car, and they call you and say, "Hey, could you come to the door?" No, not even could you come to the door. Could you come outside and come meet me?
That's hilarious because I thought that DoorDash, one of the options was like, oh, my address, what I want to eat, how much I want to tip, and do you want it delivered to the door or do you want to meet them at the road?
Yeah, no.
That is an option. That's an option.
Well, them boys be coming to the road, to the curb every time, cuz. That's what I'm telling you.
I just need you to be more mindful whenever you're ordering your food on one of those apps.
Okay, is Uber Eats the same thing? Well, I'm looking at it right now. And the option is selected that says, come to knock on my door. But I think because I got a little black man avatar, they scared. That's what I'm saying.
And I think it might be the neighborhood, too. I wouldn't knock on your door either if I didn't know you.
How does that even work when y'all order DoorDash? And I mean, because you live in like some townhomes that got a gate, Los, and then Raj, you live in a like a apartment daddy with a gate too, right? So both of y'all boys got gates.
Real big mansion.
Okay, yeah, a mansion with a gate. Sure. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, we on the radio
with dogs.
With a moat.
With dogs.
With a moat. and a helipad on the top.
Alligators trained
to bring the food.
To bring me my food.
I thought I was vegetarian. You had crawfish trained to make sure direct that man to where to go.
Stop it.
Now I actually have to go outside. Like I have to go outside, and so like you got some Uber Eats drivers or DoorDash drivers that'll be like fighting you to get to you. You know what I mean? Like oh man, you didn't have to come. I was gonna figure out a way to get it to you. Yeah. And then most of the time I'm fighting with them to be like, nah, I had to come outside anyway. So
I just put the code to get in there on the little thing, and then leave some little simple directions, and most of the time they find me. But it don't burn my boudin to go outside and get it because it's right there. So.
I just be thinking like, dog, you didn't came all the way over here. Just come walk to the door. Get in. Sometimes they be in my driveway and don't want to get out the car and come knock on the door.
Be like, you come get it.
It's raining outside. That's why I called you.
That's why he called you.
What I do respect, and I think it almost burns my boudin now to say that I don't like when they bring me my bag or I go get my bag and it's not taped or stapled or anything like that. Because, like, that's a new thing, Like, it used to just be wide open. Now, if you order something from wherever, it'll have, like, a sticker of that business on it just so they'll know that you'll know that they sealed it and that dude didn't touch your stuff.
Or he just carefully opened the sticker and ate and then carefully put it back. Either way. They know he's careful.
Snacked a little bit.
He's considerate. That's how it is.
Licked the ketchup off the side of my burger.
He's very considerate.
Slid out a little piece of bacon off your sandwich and ate it.
He just ate a little piece of cheese off your shit.
Y'all stupid.
I had a fry. I mean, that's the most common thing.
Yeah.
Had him a little. Stop it. Listen, I'm telling y'all another thing that burned my boudin. Maybe shout out to Rog Smuve because I feel like me and you on the phone talking about this, or maybe it was me and Los. I can't remember. Y'all help me out. It burned my boudin when you had a game and they shoot that large daddy t-shirt into the stands, and people feel like they got to give it to the kids. That burned my boudin.
Oh, that's definitely me. That's 100% me. I hate that when they give the football away in a game. Like, I want the football just as bad, probably even more bad than that kid that did not pay to come to this game.
All the kid gonna do is take it outside and throw it on the concrete and play with it.
That's funny.
And mess it all up.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. I don't like that at all.
I also don't like the fact that the shirts be all larges. I don't think they be having nothing for nobody else. They don't have no smalls. They don't have no XLs. It just be large. Just get a bunch of large.
Large is that's a good size to have.
I mean, if I'm going to put a whole bunch of shirts out in the environment, they're going to be larges. Now, people at work were fussing me down today and saying some of them be larges, some of them be extra larges, but I don't know that to be true.
I've never caught a shirt, so
I feel like medium is a good.
So when I order shirts for work, medium and large is like it's pretty much like that. Or when I order Best Friend Weekend shirts, if I was ordering like 24 shirts, I'd probably do something like 8, like 6 medium, 6 large, or maybe 8 medium, 8 large. That's 16. That sounds about right. 4 small, 4 extra large, or something like that. 3 small, 3 extra large, 2 X's. Something like that. But I will get the bulk of things to be medium and larges because That is the going rate. So you guys are right. But people were trying to fuss me down that it's extra larges. Mid larges and extra larges they shoot in the stands. But shit, I don't know because I don't catch them. I'm not trying to catch it because I'd have to give it to a kid.
Let me ask you a question. I'm glad you asked that because you said you don't catch them. I actually the last 2 times that I went to Nuggets games caught a shirt. How cold?
Damn,
are you?
how high do they shoot them up to?
That's what I was about to ask. Where you was at?
They shoot them way into the nosebleeds?
He was 2 mile high.
I don't know. I have no clue what y'all talking about because I actually splurged on season tickets last season.
That boy was down. So you was down in the lower bowl.
100 by the 35-yard line.
Ooh.
35, 40, 42-yard line. 19 rows up. So they do hit the nosebleeds real heavy with that gun daddy. But whenever they hit you, whenever they throwing them like just regular hand throw, and with the whenever the little bungee fuck up, that's the ones I was getting.
The ones that come, the ones that's not directed for you.
Yeah, when the bungee fuck up, and I just want to know how confident in your abilities are you that if a shirt comes within your reach that you're gonna catch it.
I'm catching that. So I'm a classically trained individual, and I would assume this is not even an assumption. Let me just even take this a different step. I am 100% sure that if a shirt came in anywhere in my radius, in my 3 to 4 seat radius, left or right, or like
it's
one,
not 3 or 4 seat radius because you're not Jimmy Graham.
One
Jimmy Ham.
One row above or one row behind, anywhere in that area, I'm making the catch. Let me tell you why. I grew up nice at baseball, but even more so, super, 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 super nice at Mardi Gras. Listen, throw me something, mister. I've been doing this forever, boy. This is old hat to me, boy. I used to catch the balloons.
Follow the float all the way down.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I catch the balloons in the air. If y'all don't know what that is out there, that's a little coin, boy. I catch coconuts, cups. You feel me?
One hand.
Yeah. As a little baby, cousin.
Yeah.
What you think I'm doing as a grown up?
I catch the cup while I'm putting on another beat I just caught.
I catch the cup and then use the cup to catch the balloons in the air. You think I ain't gonna
while
catch
I'm
a
putting
t-shirt?
on the beat. Yeah.
I'm catching the t-shirt off top.
Now
let me tell you,
I ain't
so
gonna
the
lie.
t-shirt is shaped.
If it's the
The
fourth
t-shirt,
quarter,
I don't know.
it's
all of that
shaky.
shit that you just said, I think in the group, in the Best Friend Weekend podcast, I'm the best shirt catcher. That's really how I feel.
Sure.
So everything that you said is great. I believe you. But I just think that I'm cold because the last time I caught a shirt, I had drinks and food. And I gingerly put my food down, put my shirt down. I had people put my shirt down because I had already caught it. That's what I was saying. Put my food down, put my drink down, and everybody was standing up, like yelling, and and I'm cool, so I'm sitting down, I'm chilling, and I saw a shirt that looked like it was gonna come to me, and I put my stuff down, and I stood up, snatched it, and you know what I hit him with, right? That's me. That's me. Got my food back, and then a guy. This is probably where my disdain comes from. A dude right next to me asked me, "You not gonna get that shirt to that kid?" And I said, "No."
You're not even.
That's it, because that's all I got for you. I don't even have enough time to get mad at you. No,
you're not even a chicken nugget fan, though.
Right? Nuggets.
So why wouldn't you get the shirt to the kid?
That was probably that game when they put all them nuggets under his.
Yeah, that was.
I actually think it was, and what I'm saying is, y'all boys never caught no shirt. You know how rare it is to catch a shirt. I don't just go. Yes, I did say I caught 2, but that's sheer luck. You know how many people was at that game? The shirt could have went to anybody.
If I caught a Rocket
get a shirt,
I'm giving it away.
Keeping my shirt.
I'm not wearing a Rocket shirt.
It's a lot more likely. I mean, I caught a puck at the Ice Skaters game. Nah, that's a real thing. Man,
I caught a chicken beanie baby at the UL basketball game when I was young.
Chicken beanie baby.
Chicken beanie baby.
I caught a bee with some chopsticks in the garden before.
I used to catch all of the little footballs they throw out at high school football games into the stands. The cheerleaders would throw. Nah,
I used to go down and just get me one. Nah. Hey, what's good? Hey, Roger.
I caught coronavirus from a bad Asian chick 2 weekends ago.
Hey, the views expressed by Aldo NICE.
Man, let me tell you the last thing that burned my Boudin this week. And maybe I need a whole section on people who do it for the gram, because I feel like that comes up every time. When I feel like people doing it for the gram, that's kind of the thing that be burning my Boudin. And I noticed that. But look, they had a little article that came out about medical students posing in front of Louisiana plantation slave quarters for a powerful photo. And one of them had like put the quote, this was the caption: "Standing in front of the slave quarters of our ancestors at the Whitney plantation with some medical school classmates. We are truly our ancestors' wildest dreams." And that was at Tulane. Like the kids were in medical school at Tulane. They got like almost 65,000 likes. So it burns my Boudin when people do it for the gram in general, because in this specific case, black people have been, actually doing medicine for ages, and that could be any profession, like, right? Like, really? I'm just saying, couldn't it have been anything? I mean, couldn't it have been like a bunch of firefighters posed in front of a plantation and been like, we wasn't allowed to fight fires. We are our ancestors' dream. The bunch of
it could be a bunch of D-boys standing in front of the plantation.
We couldn't sell dope here.
Because I feel the same way about it.
Like, absolutely anybody. It could be number Walmart reps. Oh, yeah, we couldn't serve the white man back in the day.
Well, no, you actually could serve the white man back in the day.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't work hand in hand with the white man, I guess. Yeah. Is a better way to put that. That's funny. The gas station employees, we used to have to pump the gas. Now we just stand inside and work the computer. We all make our ancestors
now they swipe
proud.
their own code. You know what's funny? It don't surprise me that burns your Boudin. What's funny is I stumbled upon that picture as well because, of course,
Thomas.
We all see the same things. Yeah. So I stumbled across that picture as well. And it's funny that things burn your Boudin, and things for me is just a scroll by. Oh, look at all them. I look at the caption and I see that there's like something to read about it. Like, oh, there's a write up about it. But I don't care. So I scroll by and see more things that would burn Aldo NICE's Boudin on my way to me closing my phone when I'm tired of being on social media.
So it's like I'll go to that and I open it, Raj, because I'm like, oh, this seems like an interesting story. Let me see what makes them special in this thing. And then I read it and I'm like, there's nothing special about these people. They're just in front of a slave quarter. Like, literally, we're here like this picture because we're in front of some slave quarter. Like, I got you.
But the thing is okay. So
society deems them important. I got you.
Yeah, I don't think that is dope personally.
Yeah.
But it is dope.
No, I mean, it's literally like, oh, these two black men made a promise when they were 6 years old that they was going to be lawyers. Now they lawyers. 65 million likes, right? Like, that's the kind of thing that's kind of like the do it for the gram thing that it has a tendency to burn my Boudin because I feel like it's redundant and it's very stereotypical with everything they usually choose to promote. Like, you don't ever see like, oh, Aldo and Los decided they was going to be teachers when they was little boys, and look at them, they teachers. And like
nobody give a damn.
Them boys decided to, it's just certain things that society deems as like important things, noteworthy things, that we go with, and then you kind of add some of those. The juxtaposition though of let's just put these people in front of a slave quarter. If it would have just been a post about look at all these black kids in medical school, Raj, I would have probably been more apt to be like, oh, that's cool, but not like put us in front of a slave quarter and
you well-preserved slave plantation,
right?
newly remodeled slave quarters,
right? That's all I got for that.
Running water now. It has running water now and electricity.
Hey man, it's Valentine's Day this weekend, man. When the last time you poked somebody on Facebook?
Hey boy, that boy ain't shit.
Hey, I found out that you could poke people and get like still today, and I poked them boys, man. Pause.
I say, man, what is wrong with this dude, man? You know what I did? So I poked him back. Pause.
I just want to know if you felt poked. That's all, man. So I guess we already done talked about most of our things about Valentine's Day and dating and things of that nature on the podcast earlier this week. So if you didn't catch the episode that dropped on Monday with the Fat Girl Food Chronicles and Black Girls Who Brunch. Go check that out. Best Friends Who Brunch. That's up right now. Once again, shout out to the young ladies for coming on the weekend. We're gonna have them back here real soon, man. But yeah, let's talk about some things that are happening in the culture, man. The biggest story, and I think, one of the biggest stories this week that I definitely want. Los, I'm gonna let you take point on this one, man. Tell me a little bit about Gayle King and SNOOPDOZZ.
Well, if you haven't heard about Gayle King, Gayle was interviewing Lisa Leslie, and they were interviewing it, talking about Kobe, and they had a snippet that went out. They went viral about she was asking Lisa was the rape allegations going to diminish Kobe's legacy, and how did she know or did she see anything about it? And, I mean, I think Lisa Leslie handled it perfectly. In my mind, she answered it. I don't think you could answer it better than what she did. And she was just like, well, I've never seen that side of him, and I've never seen anything close to that. We were real close. He never asked me, oh, hey, hook me up with your homegirl. And she's like, it's players who did, but I've never seen that side of him. So, I can't speak to that. And I just think, he was innocent and found innocent, or they dropped it. And then Gayle said, no, they dropped the case because she didn't show up. She said, well, he didn't go to jail. He's found not guilty. So let's just leave it there. Let's just leave it at that. And Gayle went in on another question, right? So, of course, Snoop Dogg came back on Instagram and called her a funky dog face bitch. He's like, why you and Oprah steady coming at black men about this? Y'all not coming at the white men about these things. Y'all steady trying to tear us down. Two black women, prominent black women trying to tear us down. Then he said, can I call her one? Can I call her one? You stinky dog face bitch. So, and then him and a couple of people, I know Michael Blackson had something to say about it. A couple of celebrities were, very upset. Then your boy, Bill Cosby actually got out of the jail, sent a tweet, and then went back in jail, doing that whole ordeal. And O.J. Simpson chimed in on it as well. I don't particularly remember what he said, but I saw him on Twitter chiming in on it. Trying to listen to what OJ be saying a lot of times because he be killing me. But
you're not the only one, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, he was, everybody was upset, and then Gayle came out with a statement saying, well, Oprah first kind of chimed in, was like, she was doing an interview and said her friend Gayle was not doing well. And, she hit him with the fake. my friend Gayle, she's not doing well. She has to get security to go in public now. She's had death threats and all these things, and they were saying they were upset with not CNN. Was it CBS? I forgot the broadcast station, or whatever, the station. But,
CBS,
CBS. They was upset with them about how they put out, because the whole thing was. She said the whole thing was uplifting Kobe, and one of the workers spliced it to make it and put that out to make it, do what it did basically. So she was like, the upset's going to be heads rolled, and she said she was upset about that, and there's going to be some talking to. And she was crying and all that type of stuff. So, yeah, that's really the gist of all of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot that went on in that story. I mean, there's a whole part about taking things out of context that we have to be cognizant of. But then a big thing that I've been hearing on social media is like there's kind of a divide between the people where it's like, she shouldn't have made those comments at all. You waited for him to die. You could have asked him that while he was living. Now that he did, y'all want to bring this up. And they kind of conflate Gayle King because, she only really on because she Oprah homegirl.
I mean, it's not a bad reason to be on.
Yeah, but they conflate everything she says with Oprah, and then they want to say, well, you want to take down Kobe, but Oprah and you was friends with Harvey Weinstein. And like that exactly. That becomes the narrative, which is like one school of thought. And then other people are counter arguments are saying that we as a society are too rough and ready to come for black women anytime they make a mistake. And we don't ever uplift our black women. We're always ready to come for them. So that's another school of thought.
I think it's just a bunch of black people. I just think the thing about this, I mean, I can understand Snoop, and like Gayle King even said, I understand if you just see that clip why people are mad at me. I get that. Like, so she owned it. But she was like, if you saw the rest of the interview, you understand where it fit. I just think we have to learn to kind of find out what else went on. Like, we just can't take that clip and act like that's all she talked about. Like, I mean, because TV magic is a fool. Like, you can take, especially the way I talk, you can take a bunch of stuff I said and clip them together and make me sound really, really bad.
Well, that's
like
not what that's not what they did, Los. They didn't clip things together to make her sound bad.
No, they put that one clip out, but they didn't talk about, like she was saying, she said a whole bunch. I've never seen the whole thing.
It wasn't taken out of context. I mean, she said that she asked those questions.
Yeah, she asked the questions.
They picked the most tasteless part of her interview to put out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
for clicks, because CBS wanted clicks.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it was. That's the only reason they put it out. But I mean, at the same time, we do have to do a better job of kind of finding out and knowing everything. I mean, I'm not mad at people being upset with her. But that lady, you can't call that lady no dog face bitch. Though.
Yeah, but then I seen some other memes saying that showing Gayle King getting out the car, talking about Gayle King fine like Erykah Badu and Sandra Bland. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't see that. She fine?
That's what they were saying. They said she had them hams, but I don't know if
she
that was
got them
Photoshop.
Yammers?
I don't know if it was Photoshop or not, but they had Gayle getting out of there with them yam bones.
I don't think she fine like Erykah Badu though.
I'm saying that like what's your girl name? Chriselle Monet? No, that's her name. No.
Yeah, Michelle. One of them Michelles. One of them things. The little girl who wore tuxedos, huh?
That one. Yeah. She fine too, cousin. So anyway. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Then they said 50 Cent got in the mix. Everybody getting the mix.
Yeah, he did. 50 Cent posted something. Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, we do. Anytime somebody make a mistake, we definitely jump on it. Like, oh my God, it's the worst thing in the world. But hey, that's life. It's over. It's all. You just take a week and that's over. You good. I mean, 7 days and you straight. I
mean, I love the fact that most of the stories we're talking about this week are things that Black people are on. Like the biggest thing in the culture this week that everybody was really on was that Power series finale, man. Like, I for one could say this. It was exactly what I expected. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't really be like, that thing was live. And when I was talking to people at work, quick shout out, you might want to fast forward like 3-4 minutes if you haven't watched it yet and you don't want to get a spoiler because we're gonna give a few spoilers.
We haven't watched it yet. That's retarded.
Yeah, that would be crazy, but I feel like prefacing it.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing I was thinking was like somebody at work said, yeah, I thought, the dude Simon, whatever, the dude who was like his business partner, the white guy.
Oh no.
She was like, I thought he might have set him up because of some business dealings, and that would have came out of left field. And when she said that, I was like, yes, if that would have happened, that would have been a fire finale. Yeah. Like, oh snap, we didn't see that coming. That's who really ended up killing Ghost. Oh, like somebody else was like, oh, Tariq, little homegirls in the school he went to is probably somebody, Raymond James' daughter and whatever. Mm-hmm. That would have been fire. Like if a little person who you don't expect, like for instance, you remember Boardwalk Empire? I'm not sure if you guys was on Boardwalk Empire.
With Nookie and them.
When James Darmody, his little boy, came, that James Doherty, whatever, Nucky Thompson killed somebody's son, and the son came back and killed him in the last episode, and you didn't know that was him. Like, that was a fire series finale that was like,
Boardwalk Empire was fire, bro.
Yeah, that little boy it was James Darmody, Jimmy Darmody, that was his partner, and he killed him like in season 3 or something, and then he had another little dude who came back, and it ended up being the son. And that's like a whole bunch of like levels there where it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah. Power was just like,
They kept it real simple, basically. They kept it like, y'all, we know y'all know Tariq killed him. We just gonna take y'all through a whole bunch of other different scenarios from other people's eyes to show.
Well, it was.
Wait, hold on. So his son killed him?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
but it led up to that the whole time.
It was a sure thing that his son killed him on the Tommy episode when Tommy saw Ghost dead on the ground, and then he pointed the gun. And Ghost grabbed him and said, let him go. Let him go. Who else would he say let him go to the time?
No, he said let it go. He did say let him go. He did say let him go. Yeah. He grabbed his arm. Because, Tommy murking anything. He was about to shoot that little boy.
It had to, that's the only person Tommy not about to kill is Tariq. So,
but if Ghost wouldn't have said that, he was
Tommy would have shot that little motherfucker.
That's what's so funny to me. Tommy was about to let that little boy have it.
Mm-hmm. Tommy would have let him have it. Him and his mom.
He was gonna let him. Yep, him and Tasha.
I thought I told you I'll leave Ghost alone, man. So yeah. So now they got the
Now,
4 different powers.
That would have been a fire ending if Tariq shot and Ghost and Tommy killed both of them.
That would have been. It would have been something to see. I don't know how fire would think. That would have been something different, man. But now they want to have a whole New York. Because so the next one, the Tariq episodes got like what? That's the one that they call in Ghost.
Book or something. Yeah.
No, that one called Ghost. It got Mary J. Blige and Method Man.
Yeah.
Method Man in it. And then they got what other one they got? They got one called Book of Canaan.
Yeah. I think that one might be pretty good.
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Is that the one where they rising up? Like the beginning? The Book of Canaan? And then they got the Tommy one. I don't remember what the other 2 is called, but
it's a bunch of books, basically.
Power
it's a little summer reading program.
Yeah, right?
It's a little summer reading program.
They're about to have buku power on the ass, so
every day of the week. Like, that's what we're gonna power.
I mean, as long as they keep writing some decent stories, we with it. I just don't know how decent the story is gonna be. That's what they're gonna have to prove.
You can't watch 6 great stories. You can't do that.
And they can't all come out at the same time like Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. It can't be like the Book of Canaan happening at the same time as Ghost. You got to do it a little different. Like you got to almost finish one, then start the next one. Like,
why you can't do one on Monday and on Friday, or Sunday? Monday.
Let's
and Friday.
See if they pull it off. I'm here for it. I'm here to see if they could do it. I don't know if they're gonna do it though, but
it's a lot of books to be writing at one time.
Man, look, another thing that that folks in the culture was watching this week was the Vick documentary. I think was it just called Vick?
50 for 30, Vic.
It was a 50 for 30, yeah.
50 for 30,
and I mean, I don't know. Did both of you guys watch it? Raj, did you check that one out yet?
Man, I it's so tough for me to do it, but I watched about halfway through the first one.
Okay, Los, you
both of them.
Yeah, me too. So, what were your thoughts, Los?
Really, we kind of been hearing the Vic story a lot, but I think Vic took the fall a little bit for a lot of this stuff. I think he said they just wanted to get some dogs. He said they just wanted the dogs, but then when the dude asked him what kind of dogs, that put the little spark in their head like, you want a dog or you want a dog?
You want a dog? What say
you
want a
like,
dog
well,
you want a dog?
He was like, well, what's the difference? He's like, nah, this type of dog gonna do this, and this dog gonna let you pet him and stuff. You know what you want. So I think, because Vic really he didn't know. He just wanted to have some animals. He wasn't thinking about having a fighting ring, and then fell in love with it. I think what ended up happening was it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was just nothing he could do about it at the time. Because like they said, they had people coming from all over fighting dogs in the little spot. And if you think of the little spot where they was fighting dogs, it was crazy.
Yeah.
You had to go up in the attic for that shit? Like, it was kind of wild, but I think it got the rolling. He felt untouchable after a while. Because all the signs was there. If you over there and you got dudes in your house smoking weed while you're not there doing it, and the policeman sitting right across the street.
you could get jacked up for a million different things besides them dogs. If it wasn't them dogs, they was going to get him for something.
Yeah, he was because you can't be over there with them white folk neighborhood in the country with they seeing niggas playing, bumping, rolling loud music down the street. It's just nothing you can do about that.
Big fire cars, big stuff that everybody else ain't got. I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at it and it's just it was an interesting documentary. And my first thought was just this, that if I said the whole narrative is Mike Vick. And Raj, you could chime in on this because I think I'm just talking about the story in general. Like the idea is that Mike Vick was this cruel person who hated dogs and killed them, right? I'm going to tell you who hates dogs. Rumble hates dogs, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rumble hates dogs. Rumble's not going around dogs. Rumble's scared of dogs. Like, get that dog away from me. Mike Vick didn't hate dogs. No. Just the way that he chose to show his love or be around a dog is just different than what other people have. I mean, I grew up going every now and again. We go to Lafayette by my cousin's house, by Smash Dog. We go like right down the street. They had a dude with nothing but coops, with nothing but chickens in there. And they used to fight them things, man.
Yeah.
And it was just, that's what they did. And
I've seen a dog fight before as a youngster, and,
Them boys used to dog fight in my neighborhood.
Yeah, right in the street.
But I don't know if they fought them dogs to the death. The boys was just betting. And they was fighting them, but I don't think they was fighting them to the death.
Well, I mean, we don't, like they said, they didn't fight him to death. The thing about it was, the dog lost. They killed him, I guess, over there, But, I don't know about
I wanted him to say this, that, well, because the dude was he was so strung out. He looked like he was just a little dope fiend now.
His best friend?
Yeah, Quantavious, whatever
he
his
hurt.
name was.
He hurt. That ain't dope. He miserable. That boy said, man, I think about it every day. I had
everything, dog.
That boy said I had everything.
So I wish he could have articulated this, that he said when the horses race, if they get hurt on the track, you put them down, right? So if the dog lose, we kill him. He said that, but I would have preferred him to say, yeah, it's kind of like if a horse on the track and it get hurt, you put him down. But we train these dogs to fight. Yeah. So if they can't win at fighting, we can't really just give them to somebody as a pet because they're going to hurt human beings. So we have to put them down. Just like when y'all come break up the ring, they had to put the dogs down that were too aggressive. We were putting the dogs down because they were too aggressive. Like if you could articulate it that way, it makes a little bit more sense. Not that anybody would want to hear that.
I was just about to say nobody really cared at that point. I just think really I think with him he just had a whole bunch of dudes around him who just didn't. Well, he had one friend. One dude was like, "Hey man, you got to get away from this, man." One guy was like, "Man, you got to get away from this. What are you doing? You tripping?"
You talking about his little lawyer?
Nah, not him. No, that was his money. His money man. He only worked for him for 2 years. That dude. He only had 2 years. But no, he had another cousin or a friend or something who would tell him like, "Man, you got." The lawyer said the same thing, but he like. This friend was telling him, man, you gotta get away from that. And he's like, as soon as I told him, boom, it came down. So,
Raj, what are your biggest thoughts on Michael Vick's just whole experience as a whole?
Well, what I will say is Michael Vick. So Michael Vick is definitely one of those guys like that's gonna forever. Like I think I don't know if Michael Vick was not as big as Kobe, but I like Michael Vick a lot. Let me just say that. And I like Michael Vick just like almost as much as I like Iverson. Like I feel like we have these childhood guys that. You know what I'm saying? Mean a lot to us. And so Michael Vick meant a lot to me. And one thing that I think kind of slipped me was Michael Vick's college years. And so like that's kind of why I was really excited to watch it. And it seemed like a lot of it was focused on that, on the dog thing. I didn't really even know a whole lot about Michael Vick in high school. Like I didn't know much about him. I didn't know his background. And it seems like to me like there's just this narrative of like all of the great. Randy Moss is another one of those guys. Like I feel like they all had a close. Like they all was the same story. Like they all came from like hardship and then they went to jail for a little while and but it wasn't just but like they took the fall. Like it seemed like the same story. I will watch the documentary and I think when whatever your boy name is, I did see him with the curly hair. The darkest nigga with the curliest hair I've ever seen in my life. I think the narrative around like the horse racing thing is like completely spot on. You know what I'm saying? Because like people do like there's people out there that do like adore horses, and I don't ever see any advocates against the Kentucky Derby, or I don't see any advocates against.
I mean, they out there, but they're not as loud. You know.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I just don't see it. Like it is there, I'm sure, because everything's there, but I just don't see it. But whenever somebody mentions the name Michael Vick, like it's either, oh man, he was a hell of a football player, or I hate him because he fought dogs, especially where I'm from, because where I live at least, everybody got a dog.
Well, Westminster Dog Show is this week. We talked about this on the pod before. That man should have had a dog in that thing, and that man, they would have been the most watched Westminster Dog Show ever if Vic would have had a dog. Bad News Kennels representative.
A pit bull with gold teeth and number 7 shaved on the side in his little fur.
This just came to my mind when you were saying that, Roger, and I used the example of the horse race. Even another example that I would have took it a step further. When we did the pod earlier this week with the young ladies, we were talking about eating different kind of foods and how the coronavirus was started by people eating bats and like not cooked prepared in that area in China, and how we look at things like, oh man, they eating dogs and they eating this and that, and they probably looking at us like, boy, y'all eating alligators and possum and raccoon and all kind of stuff that people might eat out here. So it's kind of like it's a give and take. And the example that Erica said was that people in India, I think she said India, look at the cow as a sacred thing. So they look at us like, dog, y'all eating cows, man. Like that's so wild that y'all eating cows.
Yeah.
That made me think about this. Bring it full circle. Cutting in Pampona or whatever the name of the city is, they do the old running of the bulls. And then they have bullfighting where they be. Have you ever seen a bull? They stab that
bull with the little thing and run.
Cutting.
They be bow and arrow without the bull.
And when you hit him, everybody say, "Whoa!"
Yeah, cutting. You keep that boy keeps stabbing him in the head with a bow and arrow about 12 times, and then when he messed up enough, that boy pull out a sword and geek him and kill him, cutting. And that's a sport.
Everybody
it is
go crazy.
Okay, cutting, to kill a big majestic beast of bird.
Hey, but Peter not going out there fighting nothing. Because you go out there with that bullshit, they gonna open the gate. They gonna open the gate on your bitch. You go out there with your cow suit on if you want, with your bull suit on if you want to, messing up people's cars.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think dog fighting. So like as the way that the public perception of dogs, I think that it should be illegal. I don't know if I necessarily feel like you should go to jail for it. You should just be heavily fined. Yeah. But it should be illegal nonetheless. Now, 18 months? Come on, bro. Come on, man.
That's a long time. Dante Starworth did 0 times and had worked somebody.
It just hit me.
Definitely like ran somebody over.
Months. You know what I'm saying? Like 18 months for like some dogs. Like that's crazy to me. But whatever.
Well, the way they set it up was...
I do think that chicken fighting should be legal.
There's
enough chickens out there to fight.
Cockfighting.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be legal.
I mean, do you think it should be illegal because the way we feel about dogs as a society that people have said man's best friend?
Public perception.
So my point is, if they had a whole little underground niche market for raccoon fighting, that'd be okay with you?
Yes, anything pretty much other than a dog or a cat. Like if they're snake fighting, like let's snake. Hell yeah, I want to see the Mike Tyson of snakes fight the Leonard snakes.
So if it was snake fighting, you'd like to see that, huh, Raj? You'd be a fan of that?
Pause it.
You'd be a fan of that type of thing?
Pause it.
I found out he was the same size.
I got a couple of sites I can turn.
I found out we was the same size.
That's so stupid. No, I'm just trying to think about what other animals would be cool. I mean, I know they got them old history channels like bear versus lion, like crocodile versus rhinoceros. So, but I don't know what kind of animals we got in captivity that we necessarily be like, let's watch them things fight. It's not a lot of them. I mean, I guess the dog.
They got like ram. I watch rams. You know, like 2
bang
rams.
into the head.
But what I'm saying, also, what I think is wild, like even to go past horse racing and what they do to the horses after, like man, they got poachers. You know, like they got like rich men that go out and look for the most exotic, extinct meat,
absolutely,
animal out there, and like That's way worse.
I told y'all about there's a documentary on CNN. Go catch that. I think it's called Trophy, where they look for the big 5. I've talked about this on the pod. They look for the big 5 animals in
elephant.
Yeah.
Lion.
See if you remember.
Elephant, lion.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's not a cheetah. It's a horned animal. The next
it's
one.
A rhinoceros.
Rhinoceros.
Yeah.
Rhinoceros. And then the 2 more.
What else?
I'll help you out so we don't wait too long. It's the other 2. I think, if I'm not mistaken, definitely one of them is like a wildebeest, and
it's an African buffalo.
And the last one is I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a leopard.
Leopard.
An African leopard.
Yeah, a leopard's the 5th one.
Yeah. What's messed up about the whole thing to me, out of all of those animals, if I had to choose the one that I feel bad, like the worst for, is the elephant, because they just tranquilize the elephant, steal his horns for the ivory,
and
then now he can't defend himself.
Well, when you talking about poachers, that's a little bit different than the Big 5, because
the Big 5 they killing that boy.
Big 5 just killing
so
them
they
boys.
Eating elephants.
They're not even eating them. No, they're just killing them to put them on the wall in their study.
Yeah,
like
take the picture and put them up.
The poachers be like little African dudes and stuff who be killing. Well, they might tranquilize or they might kill a rhinoceros and cut off his horn and sell that thing to China,
black market,
where that thing be worth like $400,000. Like
for some
craziness.
They be
like
making
that.
soup and stuff out there crap too. On the black market,
wow, that's crazy.
The underground market they got out there. So you see, you go in somebody's office, he got elephant tusk on his thing. Just know he bought it from.
But they don't be
very bad
tranquilizing them.
person.
They don't be tranquilizing them, right? What's crazy is like, and this documentary gets into all of this, and it's super interesting. They like the poachers just kill him, and they leave him there. And they like, damn, you killed this thing just for his horn, this majestic animal just for his horn. And then some people might come along and eat the meat, but whatever, they just really killing him.
Oh, lions.
So this one guy has like a reserve out there where he's got like hundreds of African rhinoceros just running around on his reserve because he's protecting them. And one of the ways he protects them is he cuts off their horns. He tranquilizes them and cuts off their horns periodically and then saves them somewhere so people don't kill them for their horn, right? So the thing is, everybody like, dog, this dude got a safe somewhere with like
full of horn. They're trying to rob that boy.
like that horn worth more than like Fort Knox, boy.
We about to run up in that boy. Fuck them animals. We about to run up on you. And you might die.
I don't remember how the documentary ended, but I knew that was a big part of it. That boy had buku horn just sitting somewhere.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's probably you know what? That's probably his little backup plan. Like, I'm gonna collect so many, and then I'm just gonna slang them all and disappear on y'all.
We got way off the topic of Vick. Let me just say this, man. I think Vick was Kaepernick before Kaepernick, and I think he was the livest football player. I have a Vick jersey currently, like still here, like. I mean, I'm obviously not a Falcons fan, but you couldn't not be a fan of Michael Vick.
Boy,
that's all.
I even tried to grow some little braids like Vick. They just came up short.
Vick, man, Ron Mexico, man, one time for the one time, man. Look, another thing in the black community that's been happening this week, and I'm not even going to say that we should be mature about it because I think we've got to this mature part of our lives, right? So D Wade's son, has a 12-year-old named Zion who is asked now to call him Zaya, and he's transitioning is the word that they use. He was like D Wade and everybody was on Ellen recently talking about it, and basically his son, the other little son, Zaire, I think his name, he made this big post talking about, he still loves his little sister. So like we gotta refer to him as a little girl, like respect his wishes. I saw so many different posts online about it today, and it was some of them was like, and I hate to say it like this, I mean. Doing this podcast, I think over the time has allowed us to be a little bit more conscious about what people listen to and they give us feedback about, hey, bro, you can't say that. Or that's not a politically correct thing to say. Or you shouldn't say these type of things. Man, I saw people using terminology and words that I was like, God. Man, that sound ugly coming out of people's mouth.
Nah, they was flagrant though.
Yeah.
On Twitter, they was flagrant, bro. God.
I mean, that's a 12.
You make me say the Lord.
That's a little 12-year-old little girl. I mean, I get it. I get the jokes. That's funny, like to say that's a 12-year-old little boy and she or he, and kind of messing with the gender pronouns. Sometimes that's funny, but like on some levels, that boy or girl, the girl, like feels a way that we don't feel, right? So
yeah, and I understand that part, and
you got to be respectful as a parent. But there's a lot of people. So this is why I'm going with it, because I feel like we do have a platform to talk about these type of things. I think sometimes, and I've heard this a lot, that people use children as kind of like props. Like, do we think that there's any way that you can be too accepting as a parent to anything your kids say they want to do?
Nah, I don't think you can be too accepting. I do think that as a parent, sometimes it's your job to kind of guide your child. Now, I don't deny that little boy. I mean, the child doesn't feel that way. I don't deny that. Like, but I just think 12 is kind of early to just be going all out with it. Cause let's be honest, this wouldn't work this only works because he Dwayne Wade and your daddy got money. You know what I'm saying? It only works this easily like this. On the platform that they're having to be able to talk about this, and you can kind of ease in school where it's probably almost okay now, at 12 where, he not getting bullied because your dad got money. But I understand Dwayne Wade being a parent, supporting your child, you know, anyway, you know, and it's no hand guide to it. You know, it's no manual to or what you're supposed to do if this happens, you know, with your child. So, you know, he's doing the best he can do, you know, what he feels is right and support his kid. And, you know, hats off, man. It's rough. It has to be rough, you know, but he's doing the best he can do, man.
I would be willing to bet that there is a handbook. Somebody wrote it. Somebody wrote a little handbook.
E-book.
Yeah. Transgender for dummies. Like it. That wasn't a slug. That's legitimately a book for people that don't know much about a certain topic.
No, I'm saying on how to treat your 12-year-old with that.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with
Los.
Los. That's really what I had to say about it. I just think 12 is very young to decide, like,
to make permanent decisions.
You know, like transgender. You can't go back. Like once they chop that wood off, that's it. You know. So, and I don't know what age Dwayne Wade gonna say. All right, cool, let's chop that wood off. But what I'm saying is I don't think that that's old enough. So one, I don't think that that's old enough for the kid to make a permanent decision, but I also don't think that that's old enough for Dwayne Wade to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that he should, like, all right, well, like, you know, I feel you, I'm going to support it, like, I'm going to love you the same way, all of that, but to just put that, like, what happened, you know, we had, man, I don't even know if I could bring this up, but whatever, it's a story you brought up. One of y'all homeboys, I don't know who it is, was a cheerleader. And for the rest of his life, he's going to be a cheerleader. What happened if baby Dwayne Wade decide, man, I'm good, nah. I don't want to do that no more. And then when he become an adult and he in his text groups, they say, when you was 12, you was that's something to tease him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to put him in that position. Like, that's all I'm saying. Especially at 12.
I mean, so I
we didn't answer the question at all, though. I don't think they're using him as a prop, though. It looks like it at times.
A lot of people are saying that like Gabrielle Union is wanting to keep him in the news, so they okay with using him like a prop. That's kind of the thought that I've seen a lot of social media.
It doesn't serve them well either way, though.
Well, it does. It makes them look like some very caring parents in a certain kind of way
to certain people. To
most people. And there was a lot of conversations about who looks at that as negatively. I mean, I guess religious fundamentalists look at that like whatever. Mm-hmm. Most people really just don't care. I just kind of think what it forces people to do is to consider what you would do in that situation. And that's kind of why, you know, the big thing where Kevin Hart got in trouble, where he was like, I beat him down, blah, 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 whatever. And, you know, Bernie Mac, get some milk and cook. Like there's a whole bunch of people who had these conversations, and it forces you to think, if I have a seed, I have a little boy, and he gets to a point, because everybody, you know, they want their kid to be like a little version of them. And if that little boy come in there one day and say, nah, I want to remove this male part, and I want to mess with boys, and I'm like, and that's what I'm on. I mean, what do you say? What do you say? I mean, what do you do? You gotta love your kid. It's just such a weird thing. Know. I think you got to start kind of being like, hey, look, bro, like the conversation that y'all just said. Hey, I understand that you feel that way, and if that's what you want to do, cool. But at this point, we're not cutting off nothing. We're not transitioning nowhere.
We're not. You
can dress however you want to dress. You can like whatever. And then if you still feel that way when you're old enough to make that decision, by all means, I'm still gonna be here for you. But I want to give you some time to think about that.
Yeah, because
that's the conversation.
Maybe at the end of the day, and this gonna sound even worse, but maybe at the end of the day, you might end up being 18, 19 years old, and you decide, no, I don't want to be transgender. I still like dudes. Yeah. I'm gay, but I don't want to cut it off. And then guess what? I didn't save me some loot, and we didn't have to have that surgery.
Shut up.
And no, I'm serious. You don't have to change your name. I don't have to have this surgery for you. And you're like, no, I'm cool. I still like dudes. I'm still gay. I just don't. Yeah.
I don't think transgender necessarily means cutting your thing off.
You're right. You might be right. Transsexual.
I'm pretty sure about trans, whatever. I'm pretty sure it don't mean.
You're probably right.
That anymore. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who was transgender. They just like what's the girl named the Jenner. I think he's considered transgender, but he still got a wood though. If I understand, I don't think he just got boobs now. I don't think he cut him off yet.
I don't know that man anatomy. I mean that woman anatomy, Caitlyn.
Caitlyn, that's her name. That's her name. But I don't think she cut it off yet. But I think it's just so much. It's so different nowadays, and you really got to take a class on it or something so you can learn what your child going through, because you just never know, bro. You don't know, and especially they can look up all kind of stuff and get influenced, and that you just never know, dog.
I don't think I would want to take a class because I just don't think that it's that universal. Like, I think that if that happened to me, my kid would be it's his own experience. Like, and I would want his experience to be unique. Like, I don't want him to be like, oh, this is how transgender is supposed to feel. Like, it should be. This is how I need to know more as about a transgender person. But like Al said, that conversation to me shouldn't be as public as it is, and that's cool. Like, and that's cool if that's what they want to do. I'm not publicly shaming them. I just don't think it should be as public, because who knows what they want at 12.
Yeah,
for sure, this kid is not the person that he's gonna be at 12 years old. Mm-hmm. So I think that conversation. I don't think that conversation seemed like it was like, hey, I'm coming out of the closet. Y'all probably noticed, because if you're transgender, I'm sure it's not just like, I was hooping on the basketball, number 3 on the basketball team the other day. Now I want to be a girl. It probably was. That's already out in the air.
Steve McNess' son was like, watch that documentary one day. Like, legit.
Maybe I will. Yeah.
That man was nice at hooping, and then that man was
and
just like, nah.
Nope. Dance team.
I mean, you could still. I guess you could still hoop and be transgender. That, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that's the perfect opportunity for me to just like, I really need to like pay attention to my kid.
Yeah.
Like, because he might not think that I love him, but I want you to know that I love you, and we can do all of these events and 5Ks and take pictures and all of these things and wear these T-shirts you want us to wear. But like, I just don't think that it has to be as public as it has been.
But that's what he said. He said he started noticing, that he wasn't into, boy stuff. He just realized he was acting real different. And he said one day his wife came up to him like, hey, you noticed that? He like, yeah, I've been noticing. And, he said he just kind of came to the realization, and they, had to talk, and, I guess it's been downhill from there, but
uphill.
Either way,
snowballing.
But yes, that's snowball effect. Yeah. So I just think as a man, I know you love your kid with whatever, but it has to be hard as hell.
It's definitely would. What I probably tell my son is this too. I'd be like, hey, look, wait till you're about 15, and we're gonna freeze your sperm too before you cut it off, because. Like, maybe you might want kids way down. Maybe I want grandkids down the line. Maybe we can figure something out there. So, because like we said, a lot about having kids is about your legacy, like the future of you. Like, and that's kind of, I think that's a big part of homosexuality that people have an issue with, and parents have an issue with, is that your progeny, your lineage is gonna kind of be. Like, you're not going to have these, like, you're not going to carry on because of that. So,
nowadays, if you got science and
that's what I'm saying.
And a good job,
sperm, dog.
Yeah, science and a good job, you can make anything happen.
Damn,
on some good payment plans, you can do pretty much anything.
Because Gabrielle Union, and we had this talk, had the surrogate, and we talked a little bit about that she didn't carry her baby, but that's still her baby. That's biologically her baby. So. Yeah. It's all the same thing.
It's crazy they could just put somebody else's child and just grow it and then go get it when it's ready.
So I guess the biggest thing is we can't use all of the LGBT, like, we got to use this correct terms. We can't just call everybody gay.
True.
And cue up that music for Nothing Nice to say.
They say if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all.
Nothing nice to say, but Aldo NICE.
Ain't nothing nice. You hear me?
All right, so let me be the first one to say it. If I like a time slot on the network, I'm pretty much here for whatever comes on. I've said in the podcast before that HBO Sunday nights are for me, and I'm about whatever they put out there, because they don't let me down with the series that they put out. In much the same way, I'm pretty sure I'm here for whatever the Netflix algorithms tells me that they think I like. Specifically, if it's a good documentary or a little short documentary series, like that Aaron Hernandez joint, Making a Murder, The Devil Next Door, or Wild Wild Country. So when I heard people talking about The Pharmacist, I had to give it a shot. Even a few of those people were my little pretentious college friends, which many of them are pharmacists. So, I tried it. So I put that thing on knowing it was something about a pharmacist whose son died and he was taken on the prescription drug industry. And it turned out that this whole thing was in St. Bernard Parish in NOLA. So, I was locked in and I was ready to go. Turns out everything I thought I was getting was a lie. Old boy didn't OD. He got murked by some black dude in the ninth ward while he was out there buying crack to smoke. And when it went on to tell this crazy story about how people with money could put up a huge reward money to find out who killed their drug-addicted kids in neighborhoods which people usually have no resolution for murders of their loved ones. Then it told a story about how if you take that reward money, people who would otherwise never care about you will help you to uproot your life and put you in a not-so-good witness protection program where you could still get touched, just so you could assist them in their prosecution of other poor people. Then, the story told about how black doctors often use their licenses to do nefarious things and sell drugs that get people hooked without actually knowing if you're sick. And that this dude will spend his whole life savings to take out this one black lady's business when other doctors out there doing the same thing. Side note, did you know Oxycontin was spelled Oxycontin? I was today years old when I found out it wasn't Oxycontin like some cotton balls. But I digress. The final lesson the story tells us is that when you finally get to Purdue Pharmacy, the people who were making those drugs and killing all the white kids and getting the black doctor addicted, you can't do shit because it's too big to fail. So the pharmacist just quits and stops being so tenacious about justice because, he's not prosecuting and running after black people. I say all that to say, watch it if you want. But it's stereotypical as fuck, masking a piece about that's pretty straightforward. And I ain't got nothing nice to say about the opioid epidemic that's finally a problem because y'all kids are the one dying. So I won't say nothing at all. So yeah, it's a thing. Y'all might want to check that old boy out.
No. It's real bad too. Like they got young, like high school kids strung out on that shit now.
Yeah, but I mean the whole thing is like it's such a like the dude's son died off that crack and one of them boys smoked him in the ninth ward. Mm-hmm. And he just made it his whole mission to be like, we spending all this money to get this victims get the shooter in jail. And it's like, you know how many black people get killed in the ninth ward by other black people all the time and never go to jail? And just because a little white boy did, we got all the resources to do it. So then the people snitch and somebody actually go to jail. Like that part of it was like, that part of it was kind of whack to me. Then he went on to take on the black doctor. I was like, come on, bro.
You blame everybody else for your child.
And then finally when he got all the way up the food chain to the pharmacy, like to the distributors, the people who Purdue Pharmacy, I mean it was pharmaceuticals, Pursue Pharmaceutical. Yeah. Boy was like, I'm straight.
Yeah.
Can't do nothing about them.
I wish y'all okay.
Y'all I ain't know pills.
My bad.
So 5 young Xavier alumni have come together to create the Black Coffee Company, man. Y'all visit theblackcoffeecompany.com to check out their art, apparel, and definitely their coffee. With 5 unique blends of Colombian, Brazilian, Ethiopian, and Peruvian coffees, these brothers are giving you some of the best Java from around the globe and some food for thought as well. These fellas aren't only distributing quality coffee. They preach the major tenets of entrepreneurship, financial freedom, and community empowerment. The whole movement is dope, but don't take my word for it. Visit theblackcoffeecompany.com and see what all the fuss is about. The Black Coffee Company. Coffee for the culture. All right, man. I'm telling, let me see. Should I tell a funny story? Nah, let's talk about the broom challenge first, man. Did y'all do the broom challenge this week?
The broke challenge?
Did not.
No.
But I saw it done.
It was overdone. They wear out things. So the crazy thing is I got a couple of calls from people like, hey, did you hear about the NASA broom challenge? Why does it work? And I was like, what? Challenge. NASA broom challenge? And then before I went in there and I tried to stand up a broom and it fell and another one fell and I was like, okay, I'm over this. This is not a thing. Yeah. And then
I think you got to have a certain type of broom too.
No, eventually I got the broom to stand up. But the thing is, Los, this is the crazy part. Like it only took one person to say this and put it in perspective. They was like, listen, I'm going to try this, but I don't know if this worked last week and the week before and it's going to work next week and next month and 2 years from now because I've never tried it before. So them telling me that, oh, NASA says it's only going to happen this one day out of the year means nothing because I don't know if this is the only day this is going to work. So then I did my little Googling and it was quickly like CNN had an article that was like, NASA never said that. It's not a thing. This will happen any day of the year. Brooms will stand up. And like some of my former students was like inboxing me talking about some, oh, coach, you didn't know? I used to do this all the time when I was a kid, stand the broom up. And then my aunt hit me up today, like 2 days after we was doing it, talking about some, oh, look, you didn't know today was the NASA day when it works? With a broom standing up, man. I'm like, these. I say it all the time. I'm here for a good challenge. But it's so crazy how things can just sweep through the world so quickly and everybody's doing it, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
It don't take long.
That's funny. I mean, Los, did you catch it?
Yeah, I caught him.
It's a broom. Sweep through the road. Hey, so another one I saw this week, I'm just throwing it out there because this is a real thing. There's a tall woman, short husband challenge. # tall woman, short husband.
What?
That's a real thing. I saw it on social media. People that do any goddamn thing. But I think that's a funny one, bro. It just is what it is.
That's
right. I got one more story before we get out of here. Me and Los was at a bar with our homeboy Cello the other day. And we gave him our cards to pay. And the dude says, he go up to Los and he said, hey, Los, you got a last name? Hey, you got a last name, buddy? You got a last name? And I was like,
I'll say no.
I was like, no.
You got a
He
first.
don't have a last name, bro. I'm like, he like Prince and Madonna. He don't have a last name. And the dude just kind of looked crazy, and I was like, yeah, like LeBron.
Yeah. Like Bronny.
Like LeBron. James. No, I didn't mean Harden. That's what I but it's crazy because first of all, it made me think that's some dick stuff to just say, bro. Like I don't like that. Like yes, I got a last name. Just ask me what my last name is. Don't say, hey, you got a last name.
Got a last name? No.
But
it's funny because I think that you would definitely take that opportunity.
Oh, he did. He did.
To say you
would say that.
Yeah.
Nah, probably not. That's not that. But what's your last name though, bro? But like, I'm gonna need a last name. Like it's something. I wouldn't be like, do you have a last name? Nah, that's not my.
Yes, you would.
No, okay, sure. Tell me what I do. That sounds great. So what it got us to thinking were the top one. No, I'm just moving the podcast along. That's what I do as the podcast curator. But the top one name people that's out there, right? So I said Madonna and Prince, and then there was I think another one we said at the time was who? We threw another name out there as a one namer. Sting. It was Sting.
It was somebody else too. Though.
Sting the singer, not Sting the wrestler, man. I don't know how many other one. And I guess Prince is like technically died as not a one name person. He was a none name person because he was just a little sign. But like once you get to one name, like Nene, I think is a one name person. The basketball player, couldn't think he's a one namer, couldn't. So yeah, you should have just told that boy your name is Los, couldn't.
Just tell me with Los. No, it's just Los.
Just Los. It just plays as Los. I don't know. Maybe he would have. He probably. You're gonna need to put that on your credit card.
And say Drake. Drake is one namer.
5.
What?
It's our guy.
Yeah, and I guess that works too. See, I guess I never thought about it in terms of like a stage name, even though Madonna is a stage name too. But I feel like Madonna's real name is Madonna. Like she might have changed it to that. Like Prince might have just changed his name to Prince. So I don't think of like Jay-Z because I know he's still Sean Carter, right?
That's 2 names.
That's like
Z is a name.
It's like Malcolm X.
Diddy?
Like Jay-Z.
Diddy?
Yeah, I guess Diddy, but I guess Diddy's like Sean Combs, right?
We don't know what he do. Changing name every few years.
But you see, I don't know. I think I don't know. Yeah, but
I mean, Pink is obviously one. I get what you're saying about the other people. Pink is one.
No, I get that it's one name, but my question is,
Is
I
it their
guess
real name?
I look at Sting, Madonna, Princess. Those are like the one that's really their name. But maybe I'm lying to myself. Maybe we just
I don't
call him
think
that.
Prince's real name wasn't Prince.
Well, no, Prince's real name used to be Prince. I don't know what it is now.
Leroy.
He was formerly known as Prince.
The artist formerly known as Prince.
I think his name's The Artist or something like that now. But Sting his name is Sting Smith. So
Boy,
that's
stop it.
not
His name is
that's
actually.
not
I'm looking it up right now. It's actually called Sting Ray, and
Sting Raymond.
He's Usher's cousin, Usher Raymond and Sting Raymond.
Great uncle.
That's yeah. I mean, I guess they got a lot of one namers, but and when I used the LeBron example, I was laughing because it was like the Kobe thing. That if you're gonna be nasty at basketball, dope. Like the thing about Michael Jordan is that Jordan is the name that like, oh, who is cutting? That's Jordan. Mm-hmm. That's the one name for that man. Wilt, Kareem. Like you don't like. There's no other Wilt. There's no other Kareem. There's no other Jordan when you hear it. And then they went right to what? Kobe. Then it went to LeBron. AI never had that. He was symbol, so you couldn't say Iverson, I guess. Yeah, as a last name would mean something, but and I guess Luka, Zion. These, I mean, I guess it's Zion.
Mount Zion.
That's the one thing I hate about Dwayne Wade's little son, man. How you gonna change your name from Zion right when it's about to be the livest name? Now you want to be Zion? Come on, man. Make up your mind, dog. I want you to still be Zion. Come on, man. Stop it.
Zion.
Yeah, couldn't. What if he was the oldest son and D Wade would have named him Dwayne after him, and that man was like, "Nah, I need to change my name to D shit." I bet Dwayne Wade would be like, "Say, bruh, I could have just waited till my second son to give him my." If you're just gonna go change it, bruh, just gonna go change that thing. After I could have waited.
Doing research on Dwayne Wade and his son and all of that. I will never spell Dwayne Wade's name right. Like anytime I think of the name Dwayne,
it's so bad.
I will never think to put the Y in front of the A.
Dwyane. That's right?
Dwayne. Yeah, it's like
Dwayne.
Dwayne. No, you gotta say it's Dwayne. I don't even know how to say his name for real. That's crazy. It had to be a mistake.
It had to be a misspelling in the hospital, Cutting. I could believe that. Dwayne Morris. Hey, listen, bro. Time getting short. We like less than 3 weeks out from Best Friend Weekend. Phase 3.6 H-Town version, man. We've been shouting it out on every podcast every time we didn't get out of here. Things are going lovely right now. Make sure you join the mailing list if you haven't already done that. Inboxes, let us know your emails so you keep up with all our events. And you can get the exact itinerary from Best Friend Weekend. Weekend is going down Wakefield Crowbar on March the 6th. We're going to be out there probably around 5:30. We'll make sure we let you know when we know exactly. Bounce for the Crawfish. You're going to need to get tickets now. Like, get the tickets now so you don't, because tickets are selling out. We want to make sure that we can accommodate everywhere because we got to go get the crawfish. And, you can sign up for the bike ride portion or you can sign up just for the crawfish portion. Either works. We want to see you out there the whole weekend. We got a couple of other guests that we're in talks with right now to partner up with. I got actually 3 more partners that we've been talking with this week. So this is getting bigger and bigger and bigger as the day gets closer. So don't not be a part of it, man. Best Friend Weekend, Phase 3.6, H-Town. Make sure you be out here. You know what I'm saying? And all else I got to say is have a great weekend. Make it a Best Friend Weekend. And we out.
It's Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day right now. Tonight I'm feeling sexy. I could make you overdose, make it overflow if you let me. Like a river, my waterfalls will break down the levee. You gonna get soaked, so bring a raincoat. When we finish, you gonna see a rainbow. Come swim in my waters like a sailboat. You may just get lost in me like Nemo. come sip on it as I drip on it. You're going to have to change my name to H2O. Happy Valentine's Day. Everybody.